I'm Ana, and I love concrete. And this is a toy I used to play with as a child. What's the connection? We'll get there in a minute. But first, let's talk about concrete. Engineers like it so much, it's become the most used material on Earth. We use it for anything, from plant pots to skyscrapers. But concrete is susceptible to corrosion. With time, the steel inside begins to rust. And if the damage isn't spotted in time, the structures may even collapse. This is why, in my PhD, I'm looking at a different material for reinforcement of concrete structures. This material is made by crushing and melting basalt, the most abundant volcanic rock on Earth, and we call it basalt fiber reinforced polymer. Let's just call it rock bar for short. Rock bar is 3 times stronger and more than 3 times lighter than steel, and crucially, it doesn't rust. But it's too flexible, and as it bends, it creates cracks on the concrete surface. For a solution, let's take a look again at my giraffe. When the button is pressed, the giraffe is relaxed and flexible. If we release the button, this tightens a thread inside, compresses the giraffe, and makes it stiff. Surprisingly enough, the same principle applies to reinforced concrete. If we stretch a bar, pour concrete around it, and then wait for it to harden, then release the bar, this compresses the concrete and makes it stiff. We call this pre-stressing. We know that it will make concrete less prone to bending and cracking, but we don't know how stiff it will still be in 50 or 100 years. And this is the question I'm working on in my PhD. The first thing I did was to make a number of beams using the method I've just described. Then I recreate the conditions they will encounter in real life. I observed their behavior over a long period of time using sensors capable of detecting contraction or expansion 100,000 times smaller than a single human hair. This allows me to understand in detail what is changing and why. Using all this data, I'm now developing mathematical models that will allow us to predict how this rock bar reinforced concrete will behave over its entire lifetime. To explain the principles involved, I use the example of a toy. But of course, this is a very serious matter. I believe that replacing steel with rock bar will help engineers build more durable, rust-free concrete structures and so make them less liable to collapse. I'm working on it.